Hi, John.
Hey, Alex.
Do you know what I hate?
What do you hate?
I hate that they never finished the original run of Berserk animated, and then it turned into like weird CGI movies and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, the guy died, so they
Oh, I
didn't
didn't
finish
know
the
that.
series. Yeah,
Could they bring him back as a demon or something?
they probably could. I don't know. I don't know the politics of Japan.
Yeah. Anyway, some guy in the movie Phantom of the Opera. What are we watching? Phantom of the what?
Fan of the Paradise. Yep. Just shedding listeners by the second.
Oh, whatever. No one's gonna watch. Yeah, we can redo that if you want.
I don't care. It's up to you. I got a kick out of it.
Our place is a crying clown who could only frown, and the day went on forever. As I live my war, as for I sell my soul for love, stand by me. Give me back the gift of laughter, the one love. Stand by me, and after making all we
So let's just get the main point of this discussion out of the way, John.
Yes.
That man's mask looks like Griffith from Berserk.
Right. So I gathered. That's true. But technically, Berserk looks like Griffith's mask from Berserk looks like that guy's mask because this came before.
Yeah, but Japan is an earlier time zone.
That's
so
true.
Technically, the
By
manga
years.
came out first.
Yeah. And it was sort of in a medieval time. So technically, if it is real, it exists in an alternate dimension that was before ours. And,
Yeah, we're not supposed to talk about Israel on this.
Oof.
Hey, you said it. Yeah, so I had smallest amount familiar with this movie. Like, I mean, in that it existed. The still of him kind of doing his sideways cocked head when he's got the helmet on. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a familiar scene. But I totally no fucking idea about this movie. And that is surprising to me because I feel like so I went to see Rocky Horror a lot when I was younger, and I hung out with a lot of insufferable music theater kids, and I don't know how I never saw this movie back then. Like it's shocking to me.
This is like what if Rocky Horror Picture Show was good?
Oh, yeah, Fred, you like this movie because we're gonna have to discuss that a little
This
bit.
movie rules. This absolutely rules.
So I didn't dislike it, honestly. I kind of want to do the bit where I hate it just to get you riled up because I am confused that this is a favorite of yours. 'Cause
Yes.
There's one spot. Wait, I actually made the note because I do want to ask you about this. I literally wrote, I might have to control F the word rules because I wrote it and went, I think this is probably why John likes this movie. He building him a robot voice and plugging in the different things and going filters, Dolby's.
No, but that is particularly great.
Yeah, because that feels like I'm like, why is it, this isn't John coded? You're not queer and you don't sing. So I'm like, this is that's the only reason I like this movie.
But this is a movie that I saw like in high school, like junior high or early high school. Like on a weekend, I was up super late, stayed up all night, all the time when I was younger. And this came on some movie channel at like 1:30 in the morning. And I tuned in right after all the Winslow Leach stuff at the beginning. So it's basically right when he starts to become the Phantom.
Gotcha.
And it was one of the wildest movies. I'd never seen a movie like this before. And so
Yeah.
it always stuck with me. And I grew to love it even more on subsequent watchings.
Yeah, I don't dislike it at all. It didn't hit me I don't like the first act. I'll say that. I do like kind of the later part of the movie, but I mean, since you like the movie, I guess this is. I'm not trying to like.
You could not like it. It's
no,
okay.
no. It's just I just won't want to be like overly picky because it's like I don't want to be attacking, but like this is the way I want to word it. I'm vacillating for me, not for you.
Okay.
Are the songs supposed to be terrible?
Nope, not addressing. No, you could not like the movie, but that is incorrect.
Because there's not a single catchy song in this entire movie.
That's an insane take because these songs get stuck in my head all the time. Particularly like after watching it, it's going to be there for a while. And I think the music in this is particularly great because some of the later ones are supposed to be crappy, because there's these like shitty pop variations of his cantata. You can hear songs that he's done that Swan later just turns into a guy singing about carburetors.
No, I get that, and I laughed at that part. Yeah.
And I think that's part of it as well, is that these.
But
these
his
are
cantata's supposed to be good.
Yeah, I believe so. Like to him, yes, and apparently to Swan.
Oh, no, to him. I meant to the audience.
Yeah. No, I think it's. I mean, it's obviously that one song I do that Bill Finley sings. I do like, because that's the main one that gets turned into other stuff. But
yeah, because
he's also an insane person that has. This is like one song out of like 300 pages.
Oh, no, totally. Like I get. I'm not immune to the. I got what the movie was doing.
Right.
I just wasn't sure about the. Because I don't think I like. What's his name? Barry Williams. What's his name?
Paul Williams.
Paul Williams. Barry Williams is one of the from like a 70s TV actor, right?
Yeah, he's a Brady kid.
Yeah, he was a Brady kid. I don't think I like Paul Williams' style of writing is what's throwing me. But also, Phoenix and I'm just going to call him Griffith the entire movie, both have very weak voices. Like, especially Phoenix, she runs out of air multiple times.
Oh, see, I like her. I also have a huge crush on Jessica Harper in general, so that helps. But
oh my God, is she adorable? Like, there's no taking that away. And her voice is nice. It just doesn't have power. And this is like a operatic, powerful singing, but it's done in like a, I can't hold a note for very long.
It's surprisingly baritone because she is a tiny person.
Sorry, I'm glad you brought that up because it reminds me of that scene in Spaceballs where that girl that kind of looks like her is singing "Swing Low, My Sweet Chariot."
Oh,
like,
and
they're all like, yeah.
Or the tiny voiced woman from the Police Academy movies.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
But no, like she's great, and yeah, I mean Paul Williams kind of has a certain sort of style in his songwriting, but I also like. Again, talking about the variations of stuff, like how like the Juicy Fruits, his band, the Juicy Fruits, like changes. How they're like the Juicy Fruits, then they become this band, then they become this band. Just sort of cycling through that stuff, and I like it. Some for the same ways that I like, or one of the reasons I like it is for the same reason I like Under the Silver Lake, where it is this. It's a pretty bleak nihilistic view of everything, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I get that. Like that's the thing is, I enjoyed the movie. I'm baffled that it can be one of your faves. Is what? Not even just you.
I contain multitudes, baby.
I mean, especially you. But I mean, just anybody. Like, it's like, oh, this is like a cool movie. I'm glad I saw it. But like, it just would wash over. Like, I would never think of this again. Maybe
that
I would
is
think, but
wild.
Like
because
the
this movie is so bonkers to me.
Like the costuming, I might think of because it looks really cool. Like,
yes, the costuming is pretty great.
This movie looks great because it's got it's like. I think the remit was we're going to take Rocky Horror Picture Show and we're going to make it look like the non-rapey parts of Clockwork Orange. Like a lot of the architecture is like Clockwork Orange referenced. And then like, we're also going to randomly just have Citizen Kane in here. Why not? Which, love it. Totally, I'm there for it.
Which was the Citizen Kane?
Xanadu. That's Citizen Kane's house. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's, I mean, are you thinking of Paradise? Or are you thinking of the movie Xanadu?
No, I'm thinking of Xanadu from Citizen Kane because they referenced it in this movie. They say it's going to be his Xanadu.
Oh, okay. I missed that. I just know.
Well, I watched the movie. No, I get why you like it now. No, I understand now. No, now I get it. Is you were. I
just don't remember anyone saying Xanadu. That's all.
Yeah, they're referencing when they're talking about in the first act before any of the interesting stuff happened. That was harsh. I mean,
okay,
before
the Paradise is going to be okay. I'm just getting it confused. My problem is I'm getting it confused with the movie Xanadu, and then I thought you were going to get confused. Okay,
no, and you're 9 times out of 10 you're going to be right.
Yeah,
but this was the one because I've seen Citizen Kane a bunch of times and I've watched The Simpsons a bunch, so I know Citizen Kane backwards and forwards. I
mean this movie is a pastiche of tons of other stories and movies and stuff like that, and like unapologetically so. And I kind of like that I've been on this. This has come up several times in conversation recently. That idea of like just instead of just doing a boring remake, like rip it off and make your own thing. Like make your own rip or make your own riff on it. Like I just watched the Omen remake not that long ago, which is not very good. But like this is Faust. This is Phantom of the Opera. There's just a huge section of this that is just Touch of Evil. Like just do it, and like he turns it into his own thing, and I like that a lot.
I missed what you said. Like there's a bunch of this that's just what?
Touch of Evil. I mean, it's not a bunch, but like the singing the Carburetor song where it's just one take following. He puts the bomb in the back of the car that goes across
Oh,
stage.
is that where that's from?
And
Okay.
it's basically like a one up of
Got it.
Touch
'Cause
of
I
Evil,
really-
because Touch of Evil is there's a bomb in the back of the car, then it follows the car, but he does it split screen, so you see like
Yeah.
another angle of the whole thing too. So it's a little bit.
I really like
collecting
that part.
notes
That
on
split
Orson
screen
Welles.
part was, it felt much more modern than 1974. Like, that feels like the kind of ADHD filmmaking that came about in like, when did that really start hitting? Like early 2000s.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a De Palma classic. The split screen. He does that in several of his films.
I guess I haven't seen a ton of De Palma, but like this one is the fact that like they have dialogue and singing over one another
Yeah.
is very like, I don't know, it just felt it felt much more modern than 74 or whatever this 74, right? I keep saying that.
I believe you are correct.
Okay. Before we get in, I little things about the movie I need explained, and this you're not going to know the answer, but I couldn't. I looked it up and I couldn't figure it out. In the version you watched, did they have weird like pre-CGI logo cover-ups?
Yes, for reasons.
Okay, do you know those reasons?
Yeah, well, in some cases, like it's just that's what the effect was at the time. Like when it's just like the name on the billboard. I'm sure you're probably considering or thinking of when Swan is introducing beef for the first time.
That's the exact one.
Well, that was a last minute thing because they were going to call his album or like his record label Swan Song, but that apparently like is a Led Zeppelin thing. And
Okay.
the lawyers were so convinced, like, we've got this. It's a different thing. It's not going to be, but that didn't happen. So they had to like hastily get in there and cover it up. So it's not, and this is before tracking is as easy as it is. So they had to go in frame by frame and cover it up with something.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It just because there was another one earlier that I wasn't going to bring up. That on the reel to reel, there was like a logo in the middle that was like there was like a white box with the Dead Bird or where the hell the name of the company is.
Yeah. Yes.
Logo in the middle.
That Death Records, but because that's
yeah.
likely the same thing. Likely just as it was Swan Song and they changed it because their argument was it's a phrase that's been around forever. How are you gonna?
I mean, they're right. That's really weird that they're
But I also don't know if that ended up getting cleared and it was just like this case isn't done yet, but the movie needs to come out, so just cover it up. I don't care. It could be one of those things.
Again, on the production note, that logo and name is fucking, and I don't use this term lightly, dope as fuck.
Yeah,
like, I would get a t-shirt of that, and I'm not even like a huge fan of the movie, but I'm like that fucking dead bird with death underneath. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
So whoever did production design on this, good job.
Jack Fisk. I don't know if he's responsible for that, but Jack Fisk did that, and I guess at the time was dating
Elektra, because he had just
Sarandon.
fought Daredevil.
No, that's William Fisk.
Wilson.
No, gosh, she played Carrie. Why am I? Sissy Spacek, and apparently Sissy Spacek like worked on the movie for a day and screwed up so bad that she did not
Really?
come back.
That's funny.
That's just a story I read. I don't know if it's true or not. The dresser, not that.
Oh, that's another thing about this movie. Totally out of order before we get to like plot wise.
Mhm.
I don't know De Palma very well, other than I know he's kind of a shit to women, or at least that's
he's just really horny.
Yeah.
Is really what it is.
The shockingly no tits in this, which was very surprising to me.
Yeah, this is not as sexualized as some of his other movies are.
But there's so many spots, like there's a lesbian orgy where Paul Williams is watching and cranking off, and like there's like some pretty chaste cleavage just about all the, and I'm not saying like I don't need that. I don't want to talk to my man friend about tits on the internet, but like it is kind of weird that I want to talk about dick. That's what I'm here for.
Well, I think maybe some of that is because it's like this sort of ridiculous fable of sorts, this sort of like overblown fairy tale kind of thing that maybe he was just trying to keep it. I don't know, but he no policewoman getting naked in this one. What is her name?
Headcanon. Paul Williams survives the events of this film and becomes the guy from Under the Silver Lake.
Oh, the musician.
Yeah.
That would make sense that Swan becomes the musician. That's funny. Yeah, I like that aspect of it, of Swan like. Oh, and I don't know if we want to wait on this, if you want to go through the movie at all, or if we're just sort of freeballing it.
I'm going to leave it in your hands because you know this movie better, And I say every episode, I don't know how to talk about this movie
Sure.
because I'm getting worse at this as the years go on.
Excellent.
Hey, by the way, spoiler alert for our next episode, but I'm going to know how to talk about that one because I've read that book about 600 times.
Yeah. But in this, it's basically that William Finley plays this guy, Winslow Leach, writes this, performs this song. He's writing this huge cantata, performs it at the end of the night one night at this club where Swan, this record producer, brilliant guy Swan is. Swan likes the music, steals it from him. Ends up this whole thing. He tries to get it back. This whole thing, the whole first act is him trying to get it back, or trying to get involved. And Swan keeps kicking him out and ends up setting him up and sending him to jail, where when he's in jail, he gets all his teeth pulled out as part of a hygiene thing. He also has a huge temper problem, Winslow Leach does. And finally freaks out, escapes from jail, tries to attack Swan, and then gets kicked out of the office, gets run out of the office. Then he goes to the record press and tries to sabotage it, but ends up getting caught in the record press, scarring his face, thus becoming the Phantom of the Paradise. The Paradise is the club that Swan is hoping to open with that cantata.
Obviously, this is not a movie that we're not. It's not going to hold up to scrutiny and criticism about the plot. So I'm not going to be that. But one of the things that did jump out early before I knew, oh, this is just a fable or whatever. Mm-hmm. This guy is Swan is this incredible producer. He brought the blues to the UK. He brought Liverpool to America. Presumably, he was the one that introduced the Beatles. Mm-hmm. He can't afford to pay a songwriter a couple bucks for a song, and he's hanging out in a club that fits 14 people. What is you sold your soul for some dog shit, bro.
Yeah, I think the not paying songwriters is part of the critique of the whole thing, is that it doesn't matter. I
got it. I just didn't know what the movie was doing yet, and I'm just this is odd. I don't get is this just a really low budget movie they could only film in Derek's uncle's warehouse? Hey, we'll put a piano in the middle.
This was, I think, a surprisingly high budget for him at the time, but I could be wrong about that.
No, well, as the movie progresses, you see a lot of budget, especially just costumes and locations are
really the whole great. End thing is a pretty wild set piece.
Yeah, and I like how purposefully kind of, I don't want to say shitty, but how in some of the production numbers, the production on screen is meant to look shitty. So they've got this really janky ass Beach Boys set.
Yes.
And it's just it just looks like shit, but I mean purposefully. It's just I don't know, we just paint a surfboard, but it's 8 times bigger than a surfboard actually is. The people at home will get it.
Yeah, it's oddly charming in that way. But I like that. So as the Phantom of the Paradise, Winslow or Swan knows what's going on, and ends up finding Winslow and confronting him, and basically gets Winslow to sell him his fill out this contract to sell him his soul. Essentially, he's got to sign it in blood.
Wait, can I stop you for a sec?
Yeah.
Did he already his face got fucked up before he signed the contract, right? Okay, the order of events got a little muddy to me. Okay.
Yeah, because he couldn't just get rid of him that way. He's all right, well, I'm gonna pay you off, and you're gonna finish your cantata, and I'm gonna use that to open the club. And Phoenix is gonna sit, because he becomes obsessed with the singer Phoenix that he runs into while she is auditioning for Swan, and then she finds out the audition is just having sex with Swan's underling, and she wants no part of it.
I don't want to laugh at it, but that was really funny. I like how unsubtle this is. And again, I mean purposefully. It's not like I'm going to bring you in the back. I'm going to do a little song. Hey, how about you take your shirt off or whatever? It's not sleazy. It's just literally just a big ass bed and people take turns having sex. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at the hilarity of the situation in the film.
The absurdity of it, yeah.
But it reminded me of that Clockwork Orange bit where he picks up that girl at the record shop and they have fast forward 3-way. It's just
But I like that you end up finding out later that Swan himself is under contract.
Yeah, and nice little swerve. I like that.
Yeah, and particularly because the cantata is about Faust. And so I like how they add that layer to it on oh, look at him, he's selling his soul to the guy who had to sell his soul for something else.
Yeah.
And I like that even though you might be at the end besting Swan, you didn't defeat the whole thing. That's still, that evil and corruption is still out there.
It's interesting, though, just from on a metaphysical level. And pardon me, I do another podcast that talks about the occult a lot. And doo-doo. Whiz Biz with Alex and Eric. Check it out. But mythologically, is part of the story that once you sell your soul, you're now imbued with soul-selling powers?
You know, I don't know. But it did. I mean, it does seem like he has that. He has some metaphysical and occult powers in that realm to like bind people. It's probably a pyramid scheme, you know.
Oh god, it's like an ML. It's yeah. So it's kind of like a vampire type stuff, or like
they kick
vampire,
up part of their soul to you. You kick
Yeah.
up, you know, part of the soul up above.
Yeah, I did that instead of souls. I did that with prepackaged vitamins.
Similar.
None of my family talks to me anymore. I mean, it had nothing to do with the vitamins. They just one day they sat down and took an inventory of the things I've said and went, "Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, I think can we just say we've had enough? And
I think we get it. I think we get it.
Yeah, the whole thing that you do with your face and the words you say, we're gonna leave that over there. Wish you the best of luck in your further endeavors. Yeah, I don't recall wishing you best of luck.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that kind of layer on stuff. And they bring in elements of the picture of Dorian Gray and obviously Phantom of the Opera.
There's
Games, I found out.
There's another kind of interesting aspect too that you can look at that Swan, he's impotent coded. Like he only watches girls have sex. When Phoenix goes to the house with him, she's trying to fuck him. Like she's like making out with him and stuff, and he's not really interested.
He's just kind of laying there, yeah.
And he starts getting excited when he watches something on video. I don't want to like totally go out of order, but like it's just an interesting kind of, I don't know. There's a lot of like queer coding in this, and I think like there's an aspect of that there. Not that impotence is queer coding, but you know, like he's not actually interested in it. He's
there's a big part of it, and this is a huge thing that runs through De Palma's work is voyeurism. That's just a huge part of it. I mean, he's also like really obsessed with Hitchcock, and Body Double is just a great taking Hitchcock to this extreme, like some of the Hitchcockian themes to this like ridiculous extreme. It's a lot of fun movie, but that like so Swan is more interested in like watching and controlling things than actually being a part of it.
Yeah.
Which I think is also interesting, getting into the end, and like his downfall kind of comes by him inserting himself into the production instead of being behind the scenes and just doing the evil whatever. As soon as he's like, no, but I'm actually great, then it really falls apart.
I mean,
it's
a
subtle thing
great.
because there's more things to it, because I think it's also funny how, you know, you're talking about the synthesizer scene where they plug when because the accident that happens to Winslow Leach also like ruins his ability to talk / sing, and so Swan makes him a like Darth Vader like box that he can hook up to a synthesizer, which was actually a real synthesizer called the Tonto, that like big giant wall of synth stuff.
Yeah.
That he can now sing, and when he sings in Paul Williams' voice, and I think that's a subtle, very funny thing that like the producer.
Oh, is that
changed
the
it so
same
that
voice he was singing in the beginning?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like,
you know,
like when he's singing the Beauty and the Beast, when like there's the whole montage with like the notes going in front of the screen and all that. That's you know, to you know, I let them in, all the good guys and the bad guys that I've been. That's Paul Williams singing.
Oh, okay. Because it's Paul Williams lyrics throughout, the voices kind of blended. I just realized that's an interesting point you just made, that this came out in 1974, and that's a very Darth Vader-y thing, which comes out in 1977. So this basically predicted Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't know. It's been too long since I've read Easy Rider, Raging Bull, so I don't know about like George Lucas's relationship to De Palma, even though, you know, it's the same similar sort of era. But I mean,
also,
De Palma would have been firmly established by that point.
At the end of the movie, in one of the cutscenes, it turns out that Phoenix is actually the lead character's sister.
Oh,
yeah.
From Sisters, the other Brian De Palma movie.
Oh no, I meant from Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh.
Though it might be Episode 6, The Return of the Jedi.
Episode 6 is when you find out. Yeah, it's Jedi when you find out they're
yeah, but they make out in 5. That's the hot one.
That's what you care about. Speaking of that, I guess there's some movie coming out with Elizabeth Hurley, you know, like Austin Powers that Elizabeth Hurley 90s model, Hugh Grant. That whole thing.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, it's her. Like apparently she has a love scene with another woman that's hot and steamy, and the director of that movie, her son.
Oh,
Yeah, that's weird.
okay. That.
Yeah,
Hey, John. Wait. Just wind this one up for a second. Makes me want to Hurley.
hey, worth it. Right across the plate. Just
Hurl is a euphemism
yeah,
for vomiting,
yeah. Awkward day on set, I would think.
or not.
You know, I think for anyone that's not the two of them, at least.
You know, interesting story about Liz Hurley's kid. One time, he broke both of his arms, and he was like in bed. And I read about this on Reddit. I'm not going to finish the story, but like 7 people
Well,
find
she
that
got
funny.
stuck in a washing machine.
Yeah. Do you know that reference?
Mhm.
Okay, good. I mean, not good. Yeah, no, the opposite of good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry
Yeah.
that you lived the same life as me.
Yeah, it's all right. I've come to terms with it.
At prison, their forced labor is making boxes of tiddlywinks,
Yes.
which is such a it's so dumb, and I love it. But then the hiding of that is he escapes in a box, but like he does like in front of everyone, like
Yeah,
like
he
it's like a
clearly
solid
escapes
snake move.
into the like it's like it's video gamey where it's like, well, you got
Yeah.
to the checkpoint, so you're clear the bad guys can't get you
Yeah,
anymore.
it's kind of amazing.
But yeah, the tiddlywinks are going down this assembly line, and it's just guys just throwing a few chips each time into the tiddlywink box.
It'd be funny
I
if
guess-
that's how they
are
filmed
those-
them, that they were actually like tiddling the wink or whatever you call it when you like flick them. Yeah.
Yeah, I never played that game. I just know I just know that there's
It's
something
hard as
called that.
shit. You have to like
Yeah.
push the end of one with the another one and like make it flip up and land in a cup, and it's like kind of impossible.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I have played it. I just didn't know what it was called.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I just like that that's their prison labor is just doing that. When really they should be doing a lot harder work and for Popeye's chicken for free.
Oh, does Popeyes employ prison labor?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's I mean that's horrible. Like a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
I knew they like made shit for the military. I didn't realize they made shit for like trans fats. Like that's okay. That's great.
Yeah. No, we got a great economy going on.
Yeah, America's great. I'm really proud of this.
I tried to look. I was just looking it up real quick, and I typed in Popeye's chicken labor, which is, I mean, obviously that's been happening.
Yeah, ACAB.
Mhm.
All chickens are
Yeah, all chickens are bastards.
no breaded.
Oh,
I wish I was a good enough joke writer to have come up with that first. I just did the chicken part and then went, oh cool, I can actually make this funny.
no, it's good. No, you made me work for it. That was good.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you walking down a long street for a very slim reward.
Yeah, I've done this show before.
I vaguely remember that. Oh yeah, so we talked about this off air. I do want to discuss
Yeah.
it a little bit. The lead guy,
William Finley.
William Finley, him as the non-Phantom version of his character that I forget his name,
Winslow Leach.
Winslow Leach. I do not like his acting. Like it is. I don't know what he's going for. I love him as the Phantom. I think he nails the kind of gesticulation and the weird head tilts, and I think it's great. But boy, is it awkward, and especially when he's singing, I don't know how to verbalize it better than his mouth is doing it wrong. like his mouth is making shapes that like not even that he's lip syncing wrong. It's just like that's not what you're supposed to do with your face, sir.
I mean, it's him saying. I mean, it's a likely lip sync performance, but it is him singing. So I don't know about that. I do think he plays that kind of completely oblivious kind of well. Like when he goes in and to see Swan, and there's all those women waiting in line to
Oh yeah,
audition for him, and the guy and that woman's like, "How do you know this stuff?" Whatever, and he's like, "I wrote this." And she's like, well, how come then you're not there with Swan? He's like, I don't know. Must be some mistake. Like, it's this honest, like, he can't put together that, like, he's clearly being played here.
yeah. The comedy of this really works for me, and not in like a it's funny way, but in the Shakespeare way of comedy,
Right.
like this is kind of farcical and it's
It's
humorous.
very broad. Yeah.
Like which is weird because I don't normally enjoy that, but like that actually aspect of the movie I enjoyed quite a bit. I also was thinking when he first changes into like the full Phantom thing that Oh my God, I would have been obsessed with that if I saw that in high school.
Oh yeah.
Like, just like, that's just black lipstick and being all like, just ultra dramatic emo. Like, oh boy,
Yeah.
I'd be right fucking
Walk
there.
around going Phoenix.
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
probably would get like a synthesizer on my chest.
That would be pretty cool. Or just like
Yeah.
one of those. I had a voice changer. One of those like purple megaphones you could talk through and it would change your voice. Just get one of those.
That'd be cool. Yeah, but I
It's
like
a little less cool than a chest thing to walk up and be like with
Yeah.
a cartoon megaphone.
Insert Mr. Microphone joke here.
We'll be back to pick you up later. But I like him. He is like he's more in some of his other roles with De Palma because he's a De Palma favorite for his early films. That he's a little bit more like weird and sinister. Like in Sisters, he's a little bit creepier.
I think I could see
So to
that.
have him kind of be like heroic, quote unquote, or at least the lead is a little bit like you could be in the 70s. You could look like that and be in a movie.
Yeah, I think
and I
that
kind
might
of-
be the problem too.
I'm
is
a
used to-
return guy for that. Like bring back faces. I don't like everyone looking handsome or whatever. Bring back Walter Matthau.
Yeah, Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart's a handsome man.
No, it's just making a faces joke.
Oh, I see. I get because
I
he has a
you know,
face.
let's just say that I'm stretching the boundaries of what the word joke really means.
Uh-huh.
That on a metatextual stroke, lazy, and I don't have much to say about this movie level, I'm making a joke.
Well, it's fine. I just didn't get the Rod Stewart reference. If I was more of a Rod Stewart head, I might.
What if I said inanimate carbon Rod Stewart?
That I get, and
Because I hear he won Employee of the Month. There's another runner that I don't understand. Not that I don't understand, but I think I kind of like it, but I don't think it tracks in my... Shut up, Alex. It's weird that, like, Phoenix is supposed to have a really nice voice, but for some reason, Swan just, like, doesn't want to use her. I don't get it, because, like, she's attractive.
right.
Like, in what world does a music producer go, I don't think I want that smoke show that knows how to dance. Well, she doesn't know how to dance. She freaked her way out. But
dancing rules.
yeah, that dancing was shocking.
It's very when she just launches into it after that one song, not expecting it, and it's very very funny.
It's what she did in a sequence was the one move you make when you're changing your body position, like in the Lindy Hop. When you have to do like one awkward move so you can face the other way and then start doing the impressive moves. She just did like 7 of those awkward moves in a row to leave the room and then turns around and comes back in.
Yeah,
And it's kind of awesome. But anyway, in the context of this movie, it's weird that he doesn't just go, oh yeah, I'll hire her. Like,
yeah. It
well, that's why
seems
it was going-
more. It seems more like the idea is that it's well at the beginning for that, like he's just auditioning these dancers. It doesn't really matter. He's just trying to sleep his way through them, and he doesn't care. As soon as he finds out that Winslow is interested, then he's more because like when she first is auditioning when she does the dance thing, like he's like, yeah, maybe, I don't know, but then because Winslow's all like, oh my god, that's the one,
That
it's
makes
more
sense.
of a power control for him. And then when it's the whole I don't know what his plan was beyond, because at the end it escalates to this thing where she ends up having to sing and the crowd loves her, and Swan is like, all right, well, I'm going to marry her I'm going to open the Paradise, marry her on stage and have her assassinated because that's entertainment. But it also seems like some of that is like, if I eliminate this, the one thing that's basically driving Winslow, he'll be mine forever and have to write this thing. But at the same time, he's
Oh,
seems like he
yeah.
doesn't care about him anymore. He's kind of lost in the sauce, so to speak. Like he thinks he's won, he's reached his pinnacle. So he's like, I
Yeah.
can kind of do whatever now.
That's interesting. I was going for more the kind of queer-coded thing of he completely ignores the incredibly talented, pretty lady to hire, the guy from Rocky Horror Picture Show that can't sing very well.
Well, there's also some of that with the every one of his iterations of the beach bums, the juicy fruits, are the same 3 guys. So
Yeah,
there's
we
a certain
started-
amount of like him just like I just need the bare minimum to get this done.
That's like the best joke in this movie is they keep using the same guys. Like one, like they're killed in one scene and then come back with like some bandages on,
Yeah,
which is really funny. But then when they come back as like the goth band, and it's just it would be like Mickey Dolenz joining the Misfits, but no one says anything. Like it's really, oh god, it's such a great, because I didn't pick it up at first, and then when I realized the goth guys, I'm like, oh god, those are the same guys from like the Juicy Fruits, the fake Beach Boys.
Yeah, because I think that's the other thing too, is that I think the Paul Williams doesn't want to use, or that Swan doesn't want to use Phoenix, because I also just, obviously there's a lot of bird imagery and names that run through this whole thing, like his mask and all that, but that Swan it wants something new. You know, it's like I a lady singing, we've done that. I want to attach this awesome music I have to something new, and as such, when he's trying to figure out what that is, his desk, which is a giant gold record that he sits in the middle of, in this like black
terrific
void, and he's trying to figure out. He's like, but we got to have the song for it, and he just spins around and turns on a light, and surrounding his desk in different groups are singers singing the song in different styles. Like there's like 3 black women doing like a gospel thing. There's like a country guy. There's a more like I don't want to say CCR, but it's more like 70s style rock group. And then he settles on Beef, who's a very like glam rock, like not corpse paint like Alice in Chains, Alice Cooper, but definitely in that kind of fantastical.
He's Bowie coded. It's like they're doing the background band is the Spiders from Mars. He's doing that era.
Yeah. And he's this actor Garrett Graham, who's a very funny B-movie actor.
Oh my God, is that guy in fucking everything?
He's in so much stuff.
He's on. I'm like, I looked at him like, I know you from at least 2 episodes of Star Trek, and then I was kind of going through my head. I'm like, I think you were in like, what schlocky 80s horror was he in? This is your milieu.
Terror Vision. I mean, he was in that. He was in Chopping Mall.
Chopping Mall might be what I'm thinking of.
He's like one of the first people killed by a robot. He has a brief role in Demon Seed, which is also very good.
He was in the Weird Science TV series as Dr. Victor Frankenstein. Interesting.
Oh.
Because in this movie, he's very much like the Frankenstein character from Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I think his name might be Rocky. Is that
the name of Beef?
No, in Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's
Rocky. In Rocky Horror Picture Show, it's Rocky. Yeah.
Is it Rocky?
Sorry.
Okay, yeah. I know this is probably a stupid question. It's just, I haven't seen that movie in a fucking million years, and I was mostly there to like hit on goth girls and scream shit at the screen. Like, sure. I wasn't, oh, by the way, here's a dumb joke I just thought of. In the early movie when they're the Juicy Fruits, they should have been renamed Swanana.
Nice. Well, I did read a story, and I didn't get confirmation on this, that initially he wanted Sha-Na-Na for that role, but they were too difficult to deal with.
Even John Bowser Bowsman?
Yeah, they should have gotten Hot Dog. Wow. Wow.
Sorry, audience at home. John and I both like Comedy Bang Bang, and we referenced.
So we just decided to do their show.
Way too deal, but like badly. We're supposed to do our show badly.
But no, and I love that, because they open the movie with this like 50s style song about a guy who kills himself to sell an album, which is very like thematically kind of with the whole thing.
I think it's his sister gets sick, and he needs money to pay for her medical bills.
And the only way he can do that is to become a star.
And the best part is he's doing the various accents from the people that died the night the music died, because he's doing the Richie Valens voice.
Yeah.
Because he's doing like the Latino, whatever you call that voice. And then he's doing the Big Bopper kind of style of music and talking about killing himself. It's like literally just dunking on that plane crash.
Oh, that is funny. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but that's definitely an undercurrent there. Wow, that's funny.
All right, so first time in 50 episodes, Alex makes a good point. I'm going to make that in my note sheet right next to Dark Knight Rises. Joker is good. Okay.
But I think it opens in this way that lets you know, like, guess what? This is what the tone of the movie is going to be. So, strap in.
The tone does shift a little bit once it gets to the kind of gothic horror aspects, but like,
but I still think it's pretty broad and like, it's like it's not going to. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
I call them actresses, not pretty broads, but you do you.
Sure.
It's such a dumb joke. God, I have to stop talking. I mean, it's such a dumb joke.
No, but see, it works for me because I do think the joke is funny, and then you beating yourself up about the joke makes it even funnier.
Well,
Because secretly, I laughed at that first joke.
it's just I don't want my brain to think that way. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
and it
Sorry.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the other thing about beef. This goes down with that's why I wasn't sure if the music was supposed to be. That's why I think none of the songs are catchy. But like that's the section where the music's supposed to be shit. But that guy's also kind of weird looking, which I don't know if he's fine, but I mean for the role, he's not the kind of handsome you would cast there, and it's somewhat, I don't know, it's just somewhat, I don't get it. Like I don't get what's going on here.
Well, I think because it's the look, because it's his whole style. I mean he's beefy and he's handsome enough, and he had the sound that Swan wanted at the time. But I also like
sounds terrible.
Yeah, but that's what Swan wants.
I guess. Yeah, maybe.
And I like, because I mean,
think there's an aspect of
even,
the joke that I'm not picking up on.
Yeah, because they even have like that when he's trying to sing it, and he's like, "What, you want a castrato to sing this? Like, what? This isn't in my range, honey." And I like how femmy he is when he's not being beef. Yeah,
I like that he has his own headshot in his dressing room.
Yes, yeah. And apparently, like it's someone else singing, and the only time you hear Garrett Graham sing is in the shower, and Brian De Palma's like, crap, we should have had him do the voice. I don't know if it was one of those things that he just like blew the audition, or they already had another guy or something.
Oh, like Garrett has a good voice, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. When you sing in the shower, it's fine. But I just like that playing with the identities. It's it's a cheap joke to have always beef, but he's kind of femmy. But I still think like he's the most sane character in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Almost because he knows that the Phantom is out to get him, and he's trying to leave, and he finally goes back and does it because the tough guy, or the muscle, Swan's muscle, convinced him to do it after trying to tell him that he's having like a speed hallucination. Like that. I know drug reel from real.
Great
I
line.
like that line. Yeah.
I want to talk about his muscle. We were introduced to him in like one of the first scenes when people were watching the Juicy Fruits. After that, he talks to camera, like he stares into your soul with that Joey Diaz face, and it's unfucking comfortable. Especially so that he's inexplicably got a brown shirt on with Thunderbirds on the lapels, or some kind of eagle. It is
got that tasseled 70s jacket, like the Homer's drinking jacket or whatever.
Yeah, it made me so fucking uncomfortable because he's just staring at you. And my thought is, oh, they don't want to show Swan. But then they just show Swan like almost immediately.
It doesn't take too long before they do it.
I mean, it's so baffling. And I think this movie's meant to keep you kind of off balance, but it's I didn't want that man staring at me. That's going to give me nightmares. Yeah,
that because it's him. I mean, he's not just staring at you. He's telling a whole story about how this woman that he loved and raised out of, like I taught. It sort of lays out what the role of Swan in him is that like, I found her in this singing in some juke joint or whatever. I raised her up, told her who to meet, who to fuck, and then we sign her, and she turns on us, wants to go like sing with orphan, like take care of orphans. What the hell? And Swan's like, what do you want me to do? Like, break her. And he's like, yeah, that's easy, no problem.
Yeah.
That they just don't care. And like, someone is leaving to go do something good. It's like, but it hurts us. Like, we might not be able to make the money we wanted to off of you. So now we will destroy you. And but then it's also like sets up also that he's like, but she's the number one star in the world. And he's like, yeah, she's the number one star right now. So what's tomorrow? That this is all so fleeting, that this is all just so not nebulous, but just barely there, but these people are ruining their lives for it.
I believe they were searching for was ephemeral.
That's the word. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm good with words. I remember them every now and again.
But then,
that's why I think he turns into the guy from Under the Silver Lake. That he's just completely jaded and doesn't give a shit, but like still kind of wants power.
But then, like, because I mean, the same thing happens with Phoenix, because Phoenix at first, like, doesn't. And I like this because there's not, like, Phoenix is not this, like, oh, but she's perfect compared to everybody else. Because she falls prey to all this as well. Because
she's blowing that dude and doing coke in about 6 seconds after she gets signed.
Because as soon as she gets a taste of that stardom, she's basically like, I'll do anything.
Yeah.
Because all he says to her is like, I just want your voice. And then she's like, that's all? And he's like, well, okay. And they start, that's when you were talking about when the
they start
Phantom sees
lightly
them.
making out.
They start doing it. But then it's clear like she's on drugs, or like they're filling her with drugs as well,
Yes.
because she starts being all spacey. And I think that the whole like end thing is her kind of, that the craziness and the reveal that it's been Winslow this whole time and all that is just like, what has been happening? This is the reveal, like this is what's been going on, and all I've been doing is singing and doing drugs.
Yeah, it's one of the things I like about this, and it leads direct to that, is how kind of short the timeline of the movie is. Like
Yes.
this could happen over the course of 3 days or 6 years. Like, but like how she like gets signed, and the next thing you know, she's just doing coke in a car. Like the
Yeah.
one point she's chased, she's like, I don't want to go in there and fuck anybody to learn how to sing. And the next thing she's like, yeah, give me that Paul Williams cock. Give me a key of H. I don't know how much drugs are. Give me an amount of drug, and let's go, baby.
I would like one drug, please.
Yes, I would like. I know I'm rich now. I shall have 3 drug.
Yeah, but it's a very kind of like a human element to it, though. That I mean, for as broad and big as this thing is, that even this thing that in another movie would be this like, I don't want to do like a Madonna horror thing, but just that as soon as the sheep falls prey to it too, because she's just as vulnerable as anybody else.
Yeah.
And I like that. And I don't think it judges her for it either. It's just like, no, Swan and the appeal of this stuff is very powerful.
No, it just happens.
Who
And,
wouldn't do that?
you know, here's the thing too, because I don't want to be like sex shaming or whatever. Do coke and blow guys. That's fine. It was just happened real quick. Like you went from, I don't want to do coke and blow guys, and now I want to do coke and blow. Cool.
Yeah.
Like go get it. Like, get your bag. I just, you know.
Well, I think it's just like I had a taste of what this was like, of what I wanted. I had this stardom, and like I will do anything to keep it.
You get that sweet, sweet swan jizz all up on your tongue, and you know, next thing you know.
Yeah, that was the takeaway from that. Yep.
I was listening. So when they introduced Beef on stage, he comes out. So his background band is doing a song, and they're fake cutting off arms and fake audience members.
Yeah, they have these guitars. They have giant knives at the end.
And just the cheesiest ass effect. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It makes Alice Cooper look legitimate. Like, I don't know if you've ever
Yeah.
seen Alice Cooper's 70s stage show. It's so stupid. I mean, it's wonderful, but it's so stupid. But then Beef comes out pretending to be Frankenstein, and he's got like fake blood stains on his arms, like he just got sewn together behind
Yep.
it. And it is so dumb. And then he's killed with a neon light in the shape of a lightning bolt.
Yeah, and that like he's killed on stage, and the audience loves it. Even to the point where the body outside, when the body is being is zipped up in a body bag and being loaded into an ambulance, they're still going beef, 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 beef.
Yeah.
That they just love it, and
What
I think the audience is just as big of a villain as everyone else in this movie, as anyone else in this movie.
What I respect about this movie is they didn't make a, hey, that actually smells pretty good joke. Because there's like a fried beef thing. I think in a lot of other movies they would go, and that, audience home, that was not me trying to backhand make a good joke. Be like, I wish they'd do that.
No,
I meant it. I meant that in like a Mel Brooksy, like, you know, he would make that joke, and you'd be like, oh, really? You just wasted 6 seconds of my life saying that?
Yeah.
So I just wasted 30 seconds of your life describing it.
as an aside, I've been rewatching old Simpsons episodes, and one of the things, and this is like a pretty stupid observation, but I think a thing that I think got lost somewhere along the lines is the idea that like you don't have your characters tell jokes, have your characters say it straight. Like your characters don't know that they're funny.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like so often now that's a thing where your characters know they're being like quippy and whatever, where it's part of what makes Homer so funny is that he just says stupid stuff very earnestly.
Somebody made a comment on the internet that I really resonated with the other day that, well, it was a comment, it was a question. They said, I wonder, not when The Simpsons jumped the shark, but when did The Simpsons stop creating culture and start commenting on it?
That's a good point.
And
yeah.
I think that's exactly kind of what you're talking about, where it's like, they're no longer doing the thing. Now they're kind of laughing at, now they're making the joke. Now they're kind of family guying it instead of,
Yeah. That's a really good point.
I mean, I came up with that by myself. Cut that plus.
Yep.
Hey, John, I had
Well,
this really great point. Now
cut this
put
whole
that.
thing.
Yeah.
But Yeah, so but yeah, Beef getting killed in front of everyone, and then at the end when there's the big throwdown between Swan, as he finds out, Winslow Leach, the Phantom, finds out that yes, he can't kill himself. He tries to kill himself after seeing Swan and Phoenix lightly making out.
Stabs himself in the heart, and
Yeah.
it's got that sweet 70s blood that
Yes.
is, I don't know why it happens, but I love it every time.
Yep. That's one of the reasons I love like Italian horror. They like the bright red, ridiculous blood.
It looks like blood from that Star Trek movie where they kill the Klingons in Zero G.
Oh, Six.
And
Yeah.
and
The
it's just
pink
like,
blood,
it's
yeah.
like no blood's ever looked that color, even Klingon blood. Like, it's so bad.
Yeah. Fuck, there was some movie where they did that, where like the blood was actually kind of, it was in Saw 3D. The blood is kind of pink because the way 3D works, like they had to color it a certain way. So when they made it not 3D, they had to like darken up all the blood.
Oh, because it's like the red blue thing, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's
got
not even
it.
like red blue, because I think the 3D thing was a little bit different, but it had to do with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, because 3D also kind of like knocks down your exposure because you're wearing the glasses, so they have to brighten everything up. But that aside, then Swan comes up to gloat over him, and he's like, "You can't die. Look at your contract says it terminates with me." And so Winslow's like, "Well, okay, well, fuck you," and tries to stab Swan. And then Swan's like, "I'm under contract too." And I like that moment because it's not like a dun dun dun. He says it and the scene ends. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it doesn't, for as broad and melodramatic as the whole thing is, it doesn't really rest on that much. But then he figures out, Winslow finds this recording of Swan making his contract, where Swan is a younger man and is going to kill himself because he can't imagine getting older. And he's going to film himself to add to the Swan archives of his life.
Which, by the way,
And
the video quality that Swan could produce in 1950 something, which is when
Yeah.
he signs the contract, I just kind of like that in the 70s they didn't even bother trying to do a like, oh, this
like,
looks
that's-
like older film.
but that's actually one of a huge pet peeve I have in movies, when like it's a news report and the news report is footage from the movie that we've already seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't look, or like, oh, here's some surveillance footage and it looks exactly the same as everything else.
Yeah, it's in
But I'll forgive
4K,
it in this because there's also like the fact that there's other angles going on. You never see another camera, but whatever. But yeah, so basically he made a deal with the devil to stay young forever. And the devil's like, but you have to watch this film. This film will age in place of you, but you have to watch it every day to see how lucky you are. And Winslow finds out then he sees a video, the recording of his contract and of hers, and I like Phoenix's, and I like the little change that on tape Swan sounds evil.
Oh, that was
like his
cool.
voice is all
Yeah.
distorted because after Winslow signs his contract, you get a shot of Swan in his den, listening to it, and we've joked before on the show of like, why are you showing me a recap of a thing I just saw? But like, it gives you new information because his voice sounds so like wicked on the tape.
Yeah.
And I like that. But so he burns the tapes, thus destroying Swan's immortality. And Swan, meanwhile, his planned a marriage, as I sort of alluded to, a televised marriage between him and Phoenix. And as a result of that film burning, Swan's face is melting. He and Winslow fight. Because Swan dies, Winslow's wound opens back up. And he dies as well. And then
Wait,
like the crowd is all on them. And I like there's one guy that picks up the bird head that Winslow used to stab Swan, and is like holding it like, I'm famous now.
Yeah, they were anointing themselves with the people's blood.
Yeah.
But why did Swan's face start to melt? He only signed
Because-
that contract 20 years ago. He'd be in his late 60s?
Because because it's burning. Because the film itself is burning.
Oh, that was supposed to be a burn effect.
Yeah, I think it's that he's melting.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought that was like, I'm so ancient and rapidly aging that my face is
No,
falling
no,
apart.
not
No,
like-
no.
not
They're
like,
trying to transfer the
um,
burning of the
Holy
tape
Grail.
into. So,
Yeah.
on that note, if he did watch it every day, would his face start degrading like what would happen if he watched reel-to-reel tape every day?
Well, in theory, that tape is imbued with the same magical power. Because if it is indeed like aging instead of him, the tape itself isn't
Got
aging. The image of himself.
Yeah, so like the painting
whole
of
thing's
Dorian
magical,
Gray, you don't
so-
need to have like an art historian to restore it.
Right, yeah. It's just going to stay the same. Unless you have that one woman try to fix it.
Exactly who I was just thinking of. I was
Yeah,
trying to
that
figure
is
out
still
how-
one of the funniest things.
Yeah. Like out in the middle of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Dorian Gray's face just kind of turned sideways and like 2D, and like a 6-year-old painted it.
Yeah. Beautiful. It's still good. It's still good.
Yeah, and I guess that's the end.
The end, yeah, and it just ends with that, and then it's a great, like, I like how it ends with clips from the movie. Like during the credits, you just like, here's this character, and it's just like different shots that they, different scenes that they were in, with a great Paul Williams song, this Kiss Off song called Goodbye. Yeah, I like the music in it. I like the whole, I like the wild and woolly vibe of the whole thing.
I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. I'm just baffled by it being like a top anything is what, and I think the songs blow, but that's personal choice or whatever. I like good music and you like shit, but personal choice.
Yeah. No, I see your Linkin Park poster. It's fine.
No, that's LinkedIn Park. I'm really into corporate social media.
It's so great. There's some. I saw some. Something. This guy made a AI thing that could like farm engagement on LinkedIn. You just like press a button and it's responds to the post. Like it reads the post and it's like, oh, maximize your turnkey solutions or something. It's like, it's worse. But no one liked it when it opened. It did not do very well, except in Winnipeg. It like stayed on. They had it in the theater for a very long time, and I think there's still like Phantom of the Paradise like celebrations up there.
Yeah, no, I would recommend watching the movie. I really enjoyed it. When did Rocky Horror come out? Do you know?
Rocky Horror came out.
Sorry, I could have looked it up.
75.
So this predates Rocky Horror.
This predates Rocky Horror.
That's incredible because Beef obviously is referencing Rocky Horror.
Or is he?
No. I mean, obviously, no. I mean, unless there's time travel involved.
I hope not, because I hope that time travel didn't make. Well, it's just. I mean, it's commenting on the sort of the glam and the increasing visibility of queerness.
I guess. I mean, that's just that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think I need to like go and find some like Rocky kids and like explain this to them. The Clinton Street plays it every Saturday.
Like there could very well be a more like I don't know what the crossover is. I don't know who was influenced by what. This is all just speculation on my end. So there could very well be stuff written about it that I just did not see.
Yeah, and I didn't look. Yeah, I know that's shocking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't specifically look for anything to do with Rocky.
Yeah, but you've done research ever. So you're already like well ahead of me. Okay. Where if I don't know something already going into the show,
I'm satisfied not knowing. It's cool. It's very Buddhist. It's just sort of like whatever. Yeah. Like I'm just the way to that's the knowledge I have.
The cessation from desire is me not wanting to Google anything about the movies I'm about to talk about. Hey, speaking of the movies we're about to talk about, you want to talk about a good thing you watched that you want to recommend to the audience?
I rewatched. I think I've recommended it on the show before, but I rewatched Cemetery Man. Speaking of kind of bonkers stuff, that was a movie I loved when I was I saw it at the Indian Hills Theater in Omaha, which is sadly no longer there.
Oh wow! But it was that's the name of my high school.
Oh really?
Yeah, not the theater part.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah. But it was just me, a friend of mine, and like one other guy way in the back of the theater. Right. That was all that was there, and. Watching it made me think about how like there are so many things now that I'll watch and I'll kind of be like, well, that's awkward and that's corny or whatever. That when I'm watching it, then I'm like, oh, this is surreal and what a neat way to tell this story. And I kind of I like that more sort of forgiving and just letting it happen. But it's still fun. I really enjoyed it. Rupert Everett and all that. And then other than that, I've just been playing Helldivers 2, which is fun.
Hell yeah. I rewatched all the Hunger Games movies after we had that movie with Peter Malark in it.
How are they?
So here's the thing, audience home. You need to understand is that some of us neurospicy, neurodivergent people, we find it comfortable to watch the same shit over and over again. Now, I don't really watch those movies that often, but I fall asleep to those books a lot. So rewatching it, weirdly enough, I found Josh Hutcherson or whatever, PETA. I didn't actually think he sucked as bad this time, but there's a character called Finnick, who his performance in his first, he's in 2 of the movies, or maybe 3. He shows up in the second movie. The first one he's in, his performance is terrible. And I've only realized this recently because somebody was talking about how bad acting is when you hear someone just trying to get the lines out as quickly as possible. They're not taking any breaks. They're not letting the line breathe. And that dude just sounds terrified every time he does a line, and it's really kind of fun. But no, they're actually super fun. I was in the back of my head, I'm like, maybe I should have John. Let's do Hunger Games after this. But I didn't realize that the last movie was split into 2. If it was 3 movies, I'd be like, this would be fun. But it's 4. I'm like, fuck that. But I also watched, and this is not a recommendation. This is I did an admission of my brain dying. The other night, I was looking for something to watch, and I watched Geostorm.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I have seen Geostorm.
Oh, really? Because I
Yeah.
had heard it was just this dog shit fun movie, and it's like, honestly, I think Moonfall is better than Geostorm, and I
have not
Moonfall.
seen Moonfall, but Geostorm's pretty bad.
It's not even fun. Like it's every part of it should be fun. And there's some spots that are like kind of like, there's one spot where like this guy's at like the International Space Station and like the windows blow out and he gets sucked into space and it's just so stupid and it's fun. But
the secret coded message that he sends him at the different parts of the video.
Yeah,
that's so stupid. I love it.
Yeah, and I was there like him, like I'm so upset that I'm a genius that had a wonderful career in space that I'm going to get drunk and put electric motors into cars at my farm. It's so stupid.
Yeah. And then like the whole like, hey, big government, don't tell me how to run my Geostorm. It's real dumb.
I'm laughing at it more than I did the entire movie. It is an unenjoyable movie for something that should be like, super stupid and fun. It's a slog.
Well, the only way I think to go see that movie is my friend Corwin saw it in that like 4DX experience or whatever it's called, where it's like, he's like, they spray water on you during like some of the torrential downpour scenes and like it's ridiculous stuff. I'm like, okay, like making it that much of a theme park thing, fine, because as a movie, no thanks.
So John, what are we going to watch on the next thrilling episode of youtube.com/@verbalex1? Oh, wait, no, that's my YouTube site that I upload all my Twitch VODs to. Sorry, what a mistake. What do we want to watch next time?
We're going to check out that Dune Part 2, revisit our friend Eric from WizBiz to talk about that. We had him on for the first one, and so why not do that again? And we're both very excited to see it, so...
Oh, I thought you were going to answer. Like, what? Why wouldn't we have the co-host from another show on? Why wouldn't we do that? Like, why? What? In what possible world would there be a legitimate answer?
That's a good question.
To not have the other co-host of the show on your other show.
I wish I could. I
don't know. I mean, it's not like this is the second time Eric is coming on this show.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's very generous of you. To have him on. The guy from your other show onto this show.
Yes.
That's nice.
So anyway, make sure to turn into, ow, my knee hurts.
Yeah. Maybe it's that attitude, huh?
Yeah, shut up. For real though, like, because I support John's other show. You should tell them about your TikTok that you've started for the other show.
Oh yeah, This May Hurt a Bit has. I was just fucking around. Like, if you want to follow This May Hurt a Bit on TikTok, I just threw a couple of videos that I've made some reels for some Instagram stuff. I've just thrown a couple on there. I don't know how much I'm gonna mess with it. I was just seeing what the hubbub was. Yeah, I gotta follow people to do the algorithm and all that. So
no, I don't give a shit about that. I just we've got dozen of listeners. We might as well get that sweet.
Why not?
Yeah, that's sweet. So follow me on YouTube and Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Verbalex on Twitch. Verbalex1 on YouTube. Follow John on TikTok. Ow, my knee hurts on TikTok
or Instagram.
Yeah. And we will see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, you can also watch John Allen's Hate Stuffs on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. I'm good at this.